Okay. So this is the first time that I've gone live in, I don't know, 3 months or so, maybe more, I don't know. And a lot of that is just, like the title says, anxiety, depression. And with that comes stress from having to deal with all kinds of stuff that one really shouldn't have to deal with. And just, it's all really getting to me. And I'm having a hard time. Like right now, I mean, I can see I look tired. Like I should go to bed, and I probably should. I will in a little bit. But at the same time, you can't see it, but inside, I feel like this. Like I have all this energy, or maybe adrenaline, I don't know, but it's it's just messing with me, and I've been having a lot of mood swings where I'm angry, and then I'm sad, and then I'm happy about something, and then, just fluctuating through different moods at any given time without warning. And it's very, very stressful. And I have been working on getting back to therapy, and most importantly, which is the hardest part for me, is finding someone who can prescribe meds that takes my insurance. That seems to, and who is accepting new patients, there are some places, but they aren't accepting new patients, so it just makes it very difficult because it limits where I can go. And I had a doctor's appointment, and I was talking to the doctor about my medications that she was prescribing to me. This is my general practitioner. And we were talking about, I was asking her, going over my medications, making sure the dosages were right. And is one of my medications, I'm supposed to take a certain amount 3 times a day. And I was there, I saw her, she put it into the computer as the numbers it was supposed to be, and I didn't even check when I picked it up at the pharmacy. It wasn't until I got home, and it's not written right again. So it's annoying me. Maybe it's my insurance, maybe it only allows whatever, but I don't understand that because I was taking it with the same insurance. With I don't even want to think about it. It's too much. But anyway, there was that, and that stressed me out. And so I was talking to her about my medications, and she's prescribing me a couple of, medicines that would be prescribed if you were seeing a psychiatrist or some sort of medical professional who can give me meds. And I happened to tell her that, okay, I have been looking and I've been having a hard time finding a psychiatrist or anyone of that nature. And she said, oh, well, we just recently got somebody in who does that and is accepting patients. And I was like, really? Oh my goodness, because before they weren't, and for many years they did not have any kind of psychiatry or medication management at all, just counseling. So I jumped on that train. And I had an intake today not with the prescriber, but the nurse. I get confused with their names. Like, I don't know. The person that you meet before to do the intake. And then next week is my first visit with this person. So there's a lot of like, yes, finally, I feel that. But at the same time, I'm scared. I haven't seen a prescriber in a long time. And I think my biggest worry is the same worry I always have, is you find somebody you like, you get comfortable with them, then they leave. And, that's part of what happens when you're dealing with any kind of medical issue. There is a chance that the doctor you are seeing may move, change practices, whatever. But it happens a lot more from my experience, it happens a lot more when you're dealing with counseling and psychologists and psychiatrists. I think they're not getting paid enough. I think that's what it is. They're just not getting paid enough. And that's fine. I have to learn to deal with that. If people leave, then people leave, and it's something I need to work on. But even though I have this information, even though I know that this is a good thing and that finally things are moving in the direction that they need to be, I am very, very stressed about it. And I don't know why I'm so stressed. I get that I'm a little worried, okay? But why do I feel scared? Why can't I shake this feeling? And it's on top of all the other feelings that I'm feeling. And part of it, I think what triggered a lot of this recent, because I've been having mood fluctuations and just all kinds of things that, is my cat dying. I think that was definitely the trigger. And that still hurts me. I was really close with that cat. Hello, Jeffrey. You're on a 10-minute break. Are you working? I assume you're working since you're taking a break. Well, you could be at a class. I don't know. So I've just kind of been trying to sort things out in my head. And I've been having other symptoms too. Where do you work? If you don't mind me asking. I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But the doctor, my general practitioner, who's really nice, understands that I have been looking for somebody. So in the meantime, she's still been prescribing me the amitriptyline, which is I almost said antipsychotic. It is an antidepressant. It's a tricyclic antidepressant. And gabapentin, but I also take that for nerve pain, and lorazepam, because I have such anxiety, and my anxiety, good Lord, is through the roof. Do you have panic attacks? Both. I have both. Oh, yeah. It's not fun. It is not fun. Contact rain drains for stores, and there's an arrow in my way, so I can't read that last word. And stores and boards? No, there's an A there. I don't know. There's an arrow in the way. I don't understand. Why is there an arrow? Oh, there we go. Roads. Oh, I had it right. It was roads. Oh my God. Let's see. Lorazepam. What milligram per day? I was prescribed a 1 milligram tablet, and I can take up to 2 a day if I need it. And it's the kind that you can dissolve under your tongue. I suggest if you do go on something like that to help with anxiety, ask if they have something that dissolves under your tongue, because you don't taste it and it dissolves fairly quickly, and you just take a drink and it's gone, and it gets to your gets through your system a lot faster that way than taking it orally. But I'm actually, my anxiety has been really bad. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. My bad, guys. That's low. I take 1 milligram daily. Well, I always start out on a low dose of medication. I don't like to start out on really high levels because unless you are in a severe episode right at that moment, high levels of medication, for me personally, aren't a good combination. If I start low and work my way up if I need it, that seems to work for me. That's, I don't know, everyone's different. Some people need a higher dose. Oh, good, your meeting for meds must have worked. Yeah. And that other place that I called, they were supposed to call me today. I didn't get a call from them, so. But here's what I did. I was desperate, and I didn't know where to turn, so this is just my thing. I'm not pushing this on anybody. I pray to God. I ask God to help guide me in a direction where I can get med management because I need it. And that's what I did. I said, just show me something if you can. If you think that that's what I need, then can you show me? And like I said, when I went to that appointment and I talked about the meds, she brought it up. So I took that as a sign. You know, I don't know. That's just what I did. And whether or not it had anything to do with that or not, at least the outcome is positive, and it's something that I need because I have not had a steady medication management person in like 3 years, maybe 3.5. Because the last person I was with, he was awesome. We got along great. He was the kind of psychiatrist, he didn't look at you as a number on a chart or a name here or a bill amount there. That's not how he looked at you. When you came in, he assessed your individual need. So if some people only needed a 15-minute appointment, that's what he gave them. Sometimes he would give me a half hour, 45 minutes, or even an hour, depending on how things were. So he liked to do a little bit of the counseling, not necessarily going through things like, okay, let's process this and this, but he would talk to me. He would ask me questions. He would listen to what I said. You know, he heard me. He didn't just look at me as like, yeah, another crazy nutbag, you know. Because sometimes I don't know if you've ever gotten that look when you try to be honest with a doctor and they look at you like, you know, when a doctor looks at me like that, I know I've lost them. I know that doctor is not the doctor for me because that is judgment. And even if they do judge you, they should keep it behind the mask and wait until they go home for the night and then complain about it like everyone else does. Oh, that's when it's time to bounce. Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes therapists do that. Yes, they do. In my experience, I've had therapists give me a look like, what the fuck? You know? Like, this girl is crazy. I don't know if that's what they're thinking, but it's the look on the face. It's that feeling of, I just opened up to you, and now you just reinforced to me that I don't want to open up to people because they're judgmental. You know, that's why it's so important to shop around, if you will. You know, don't necessarily call up and make an appointment, but call up and ask questions. What is this person like? What is their history, you know, look up, I mean, they have a lot of things online. You can look up, you know, psychiatrists, therapists, whatever, and it'll give you information of where they worked, their medical credentials, if they've ever had any strikes against them, you know, things like that. And so, and plus people sometimes will give reviews. So I would say look around, talk to people if you know people who have been to certain places, and just kind of get a feel for it before you just dive right in. I know sometimes you need therapy now and it's just whoever's available, and that's okay. But once you get to a place where you're on more solid ground, it's okay to say, I'd like another counselor, or I think I want a new psychiatrist or psychologist or nurse practitioner, or whatever all these names are. There's so many. Can't they just be called med management specialists? You know what I'm saying? It'd be so much easier for my brain, because that's another thing that has been stressing me out is my brain. It's not working right. I'm forgetting things. I can't always keep up in conversations. Somebody will start talking to me and I'll just like just drift off. They're like, Amanda, what did I say? I have no idea. You were talking to me? Like that kind of thing going on, you know? My concentration sucks. You know, I don't know. I mean, normally I'm like right here looking at you guys. I'm usually very, I don't know, presentable. I don't know what else to call it, but I'm very focused on what I'm doing. And right now I don't feel very focused. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I want to cry. For some reason. I don't know. But with all this stress, all this anxiety, depressive symptoms, I've also been hearing voices again. And they're not pleasant this time. Not that they're ever necessarily pleasant, you know, but it's more violent, if you will. And I don't like it at all. It's bothering me. But I am so reluctant to go on antipsychotics because I've had experience with a couple, like 3 or 4, and it was such a bad experience for me. I have to laugh at 99% of therapists. They're not. Yes, I know. Think about what you have to go through to become a therapist and then sit there and listen to people all day. But it is a noble profession. I mean, it takes a really big person to do that. I talked my PCP doctor into giving me Xanax so I could skip therapy. Have you tried your normal doctor? Oh yeah, she's prescribing me lorazepam until I can get to the psychiatrist so he can start prescribing them. So she knows it's just a temporary basis for her. And I prefer to have like a psychiatrist or somebody of that nature prescribing it, because like I just want to deal with the medical side with her. You know, that's her specialty, is medical, not psychiatric. So I would rather keep it separate, you know. But like I said, in the meantime, she's prescribing me the gabapentin, the amitriptyline, and the lorazepam. So, that's so nice. I mean, not all doctors will do that. A lot of them do, but not all of them. My meds cause those problems too. I have trouble learning new things. I forget things. Moments after they happen, I feel slow. Yes! Yes! Have you been feeling like just this tremendous fog brain, like there's something in there and you just need to pull it out to, I don't know, I don't even know what I'm saying, but I get this heavy feeling right here and it just feels like I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a heavy, weighted, foggy. I don't even know what words to use, but I think you guys understand. Psychiatrists that have not had, psychiatrists that have not had, that have not, that have not been through a major life crisis themselves, I do not trust. I'm so happy you got meds. Yeah, me too. You know, but trust, sometimes in order for people to understand, even if they haven't gone through it themselves, is to learn from us. Because without us, there is no them. And I'm not saying that you should trust every doctor that you see. That's definitely not the case. However, I think it's okay to give people a chance. You know, we all deserve a chance. And, you know, but if it's not right for you, if the rapport isn't good, if when you walk into the room or whatever you're in and you feel like, oh my God, I got to get out of here, you know, or you start talking with the person and you're like, this ain't gonna work. You know, things like that, just the way that they conduct themselves. Are you able to, do you feel comfortable? Do you not feel comfortable? All these things. It's not just about, you know, necessarily how new they are or inexperienced they are, because, I mean, there are inexperienced therapists out there, but without experience in working with people, you know, they won't learn, they won't see it through our eyes. I mean, yeah, they have books and all that stuff, but they get their real experience by working with us. And I think for them, working with us is a gift for them, because then they can take from that experience and hopefully learn and grow and help other patients, clients, people, whoever, grow in their therapy sessions and whatnot. But if you don't trust someone, if you don't, then absolutely do not see them. I mean, I'm with you there. I really am. All right, where'd we go? Yeah, I'm so happy too. I hope I like this new, technically, I guess he's a nurse practitioner, but he's affiliated with the hospital and it says he's in psychiatry, so I don't know how they do things, but he does prescribe meds, and I hope that we get along. I mean, not to be sexist or anything, but I prefer male psychiatrists. I don't know why. I just do. I have had both. And I have found that the women tend to be condescending to me. They talk down to me, whereas the men talk to me. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just the people that I chose and that was just their personality. I don't know, but I do prefer a male psychiatrist, and I prefer a female counselor. It's weird. And I definitely prefer a female doctor, because with all the women's stuff, women understand a lot better than men do what it feels like down there, and sometimes men can be rough. They just don't know, you know what I mean? It's not their fault. They just don't have that experience because they're not women. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I prefer. Therapists who haven't been through their own prep, I do not trust. Sorry. Oh, no worries about typos. I'm probably messing up my words. I mean, I've been doing that too. If I don't make sense or I stumble a lot or whatever, it's all part of it. It is totally part of it. And fog is a good word. Yes, fog. Heavy, dense fog. Oh my God. Another thing. I cannot remember everyone that was on the last live stream, but there were some people that came and they were rude and blah blah blah, and you guys were talking to me about having, I don't know, moderators or something like that. And I was trying to do it while I was on a live stream, but it wouldn't let me do it. So I ended up going onto the desktop page, and I can't remember how I found it, but I did find it, and I had to manually add people. And I added, I think 4 people, because I couldn't remember anyone else who wanted to. One of them is Des. We all love Des. PSC Mentalist, Nicole For Real, and there's another person, but I do not remember who I put. So if anybody is interested in that, if I can figure out how I did it again, just let me know what your name is on your screen name, whatever, and then I can add you, because we don't need to be having these live talks and people come in and they're just rude, and you know, it's serving no purpose but to cause mischief, you know. Okay, so with all of this going on, all the anxiety, depression symptoms, psychotic symptoms, sleep issues. I've been having a lot of sleep issues too. I have been taking my amitriptyline. Sometimes I take melatonin with it, sometimes I don't. And I've been sleeping okay, but I'm not sleeping well, if that makes any sense. I'm not getting like, I'm not going through the sleep cycles the way I'm supposed to, because I wake up and I am so tired. I am just so tired. I have like low energy, and it's weird because my body just feels so like I'm going in slow motion, but my mind has been going fast. Then it slows down because of the brain fog. But then sometimes it clears and then I go faster again, but my body cannot keep up. It's exhausting. So that's been an issue, the sleep thing. Did I cover everything? I think I did. Oh, one thing. I have, not that I have a plan or anything. Don't worry. Nothing's going to happen. I am safe. But with depression comes the negative thoughts and all that stuff. And I have been having thoughts of suicide. Not that I don't have a plan or anything, but the thought has crossed my mind, and I know that it's part of depression. I know it is. I've had it before. So I know that I'll be okay because I do have, you know, supports in place. And so the big finale, whoa, with all of that together and just outside influences on top of it, when I get super stressed to the point where I was actually thinking of maybe I might need to check into a hospital. I was starting to think those thoughts. And if it wasn't for this appointment, who knows where I would be. I get super stressed to the point I cannot handle it. It's like I hit this wall like this. Want to see that? Bam. And that's kind of what it feels like. It's just like, whoa, you know, it's like this physical whatever going on. So when I get that stressed, I don't know what to do. I don't have an outlet. I don't have enough belief in myself to do anything that I have learned to help me cope with it, because there's a part of me that feels like I don't deserve it. And I don't know why that is, but there is part of me that feels that way. And it could also be the voices telling me that too. I break down. And when I say I break down, I don't mean like a mental breakdown. I mean, I give in and I buy a pack of cigarettes and I smoke it. I don't smoke on a regular basis. I used to smoke years ago, but I stopped when I got pregnant. So that was like 13 years ago. And every now and again, it usually goes years in between, I get super stressed. Like I can't handle it. And I will smoke cigarettes. It's disgusting, I know. It's not a good habit at all. But that's what I do. So I know when I start thinking about buying cigarettes that something is terribly wrong. Oh my God, I feel like I want to cry. You know, I wonder if I'm having like a mild mixed kind of episode. It's so hard to tell because I'm in it, you know. I'm in it. I can't see it from the outside. I don't really know what it looks like from you guys. Oh, people are typing. Oh, I'm sorry. There's always at least one. Do you ever reach out to a helpline? No. And the reason I don't is because I have such anxiety about talking on the phone. I hate talking on the phone. I don't know why. If I absolutely have to and there's no other way, I can do it. But that's when panic attacks happen. That's one area where panic attacks do happen. So the answer to your question is no. I wish I could do that, but right now, where I'm at, I cannot do that. I hope that changes in the future. Not judging at all. Sometimes you gotta get dirty to take care of yourself. What do you mean dirty? I want to know what you mean. Are you talking about just doing what you need to do to just survive in the moment? Is that what you mean? Oh, there's more. Talk about, oh, you're talking about smoking. No, I knew you didn't mean it sexually. I thought you meant like, oh my God, my brain just, I can't think. Oh my God, what's happening? Whoa, I'm sorry. Whoa. I don't know what just happened there. I just had a weird thing happen. I don't know what that was. I have no idea. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I didn't think you meant it sexually. I thought you meant like, you gotta, I don't even know. I thought you meant like do something just outrageous, like drive super fast on a bike or, just do something to just let it out, like ride a roller coaster or something like that. That's what I thought you meant. I am breathing. I'm trying to breathe. It's hard with anxiety because it holds it right here where you're supposed to breathe. It makes it hard. It's like putting a 20-pound dumbbell on your chest and then someone saying, breathe. That's kind of, I've never had a 20-pound dumbbell on my chest, and I hope I never do. That sounds unpleasant, but yeah, I don't know what that was. It's probably just from talking about all this, because I haven't been able to talk to anybody about anything. And then aside from me, there's my son, and he's doing a lot better. He really is. The school he's in is super great. And he hasn't once been to the ER or a psychiatric hospital since 4th grade. So, yay for Casey. However, he does have negative thoughts too, and he's been not so much recently. It's not, he doesn't talk about it as much because he's not much of a talker. You kind of have to ask him questions and pull it out of him. But there are times when he mentions suicide, that he should just kill himself and things like that. And, you know, I wonder, I know he's only 12, but I wonder if he has bipolar or something along the lines of that. Just because I do see mood fluctuations in him. And of course, he's 12, so he's going into puberty. So that would have a lot of mood changes too, and all that. But it is a possibility that he could develop or be diagnosed with, once he's 18, with a type of mood disorder. It could happen. The doctor said so. Not that it will happen. He said it could. We have to wait and see. But it just breaks my heart to hear him say that, you know? And at the same time, I understand exactly how he feels. That's a weird place to be. But I tell him every day how much I love him, how proud I am of him, you know, and that all the work that he has done has paid off. I mean, our relationship is a lot better than it used to be. I mean, we used to fight all the time. It was bad. It was really bad. But now it's a lot better. We are able to engage with each other in a more healthy way and fun ways, you know. So that's good. But it just, to hear your child say that, I never understood what my mother meant when, or I now understand how my mother felt when I was actually suicidal. I was in 8th grade and I attempted suicide 3 times, and I never could imagine how she felt about that until it happened with my son. Has he attempted to hurt himself? No. But he has brought it up enough times that it's always something that we and his clinician and counselor and all that are aware of. So we do ask questions and things like that, because he also hears voices, and the voices tell him to hurt mommy, and he doesn't want to hurt me. So, I mean, there's something going on there. I mean, you don't just hear voices just because you do. But he's 12. He can't be diagnosed with anything until he's 18, which I understand. Maybe... Whoa. Hold on. Maybe you got overloaded in the moment. You know, I probably did. Yeah, it's at the time in life. My daughter is 15 and has been exhibiting symptoms of it. Finally got her on medicine. What kind of medicine? I'm just wondering, like, for teens, what are they giving out? Because I remember when I was a teenager, Prozac was all the rage. Ha! Prozac Nation. Yeah, Prozac was all the rage. So I'm just wondering, if you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, like what kind of medications they, because teenagers, that age range is so tricky, because you have all the hormones flowing and they're growing and they're developing and their brains are slowly maturing and all the stuff's going on. So it must be interesting. I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's okay. That's life, you know? Ups and downs all the time. Be right back. Gonna go downstairs for a minute. Okay, well, come back when you're ready. Kind of like I'm hollering down the stairs. Yeah. You know what, guys? I need to smoke a cigarette. So do you guys mind coming outside with me? It's dark, but I have lights. So I will stay in the light. It'll look really shitty, but whoa, jeez. Oh my God. That would be Shadow jumping out the window. Let me in. Oh my God. I have such dramatic animals. It's like, let me in now. I'm gonna bust through the window if you don't. Okay, I gotta put my shoes on. Hey, did everybody see Dessa's new hair? She's blonde. Blondes do have more fun, they say. Ugh. You know, I thought about bangs in the past. I once actually had bangs. Where's my little... Where'd it go? I had it somewhere. I'm sorry if I'm twirling all around. I'm looking for something. I once had bangs, and I'm sorry if it gets dark. I moved the light so I could do this. Where'd it go? No, 7th grade. It was 7th grade. I cut my bangs in, and they were okay. You know, but my hair, because it's curly naturally, it requires, hold on, I just gotta set you down for a minute. It requires me to do a lot of stuff to manipulate my hair, and I just didn't want to deal with that. I was just so annoyed with it. I liked the bangs. It was the only time in my life I actually had bangs. But I just couldn't deal with having to mess with them every day. I'm like, why can't I just wake up and I just brush them a little or whatever and just go? Why does it have to be this ordeal? Hey, look. Camels. Ugh. I don't know what I'm doing. I need a lighter. I had a lighter. Lighter. I can never find a lighter. Oh, there's a lighter. Okay. Just because they're sleeping, I don't want to have too much light for them. Okay, outside we go, guys. Outside we go. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you can see me. I wish there was a ledge or something I could put this on. Excuse me. Okay, here they are. Gotta get the cigarette. So, you want to go in, Shadow? That's the cat that jumped out the window. Go on. Jeez Louise. What you gonna do? Alright. I know this is gross, but whatever. It is what it is. I in no way encourage people to smoke. I mean, people should do bad things too. Smoking is very bad. Causes cancer. Causes all kinds of problems with your health. So, you know, I know this. I do know this. But when I'm like this, I don't care. But I don't continuously smoke and smoke and smoke and smoke. I might buy... This is my 2nd pack. It's probably going to be the end of what it is because I don't have any more money. So, fluoxetine, lamotrigine, and let's see if I can say this. Dexmethylphenidate. That's a mouthful. Hey, I smoke. Well, vape. Weed. Hey, I smoke weed too. Ain't no shame. You know what's interesting about weed, for me, is it does the same exact thing as lorazepam. It calms my head down, and it brings me to a place where I can process, and I can think, and I can actually, like, that goes down, sometimes it goes away, probably because, you know, it does things to the brain a little bit differently than lorazepam, but the end result is the same. I am calmer and I am more able to deal with a situation. I'm better able to handle the stress around me. And I'm upfront with my doctors. I don't lie to them. I tell them, you know, it is what it is. But now that it's marijuana is starting to become legalized in more states, doctors aren't as like judgmental about it because so many people have medical marijuana now. What are you going to say? No, you can't take that medicine that was prescribed to you from a doctor? But I do. And the thing is, you know, when I was younger, when I would smoke weed, yeah, it got me really high. But mostly I did it back then because my grandmother had died and I was going through a bad period, and that's when I had later attempted suicide and stuff. So I was using it back then as a emotional crutch. Well, mostly emotional. What's a word that you would use if you wanted to? Suppressant, I guess you could say suppressant. Because I didn't want to feel anything. Because all I felt was pain. And I don't want to feel that. But now, because I've had 2 back surgeries and all that stuff, I don't really get high. I mean, there's a little in there, but it mostly helps my brain, and it does help my pain. Because there's different strands for different things, and not all pot gets you high. So some of them are mood, they uplift your mood, they make you feel good, like more energy and stuff like that. Helps with depression and all kinds of things. So it's all about what is best for you and what kind of strand will help you in your issues. So my P-Doc hates that I smoke it because she is an addiction specialist, and I had to initially see her in 2012 because I was self-medicating. I have it under control now, but she still complains. Well, if it were me, I'd be like, listen, this is how it is. And I'm not trying to be rude, but if you have a problem with how I need to be, then maybe I need to switch counselors. You know, I mean, you got to have somebody that supports you. I mean, it's one thing for a doctor to say, well, I don't do that myself. But if that is part of your medication regimen and you're working with a doctor and all that stuff, they really have no reason to say anything. You know, it's not their choice what you do. You know, I'm not saying be mean about it or anything, but just kind of have a discussion about, you know, are you two the right fit, considering how she feels and how you feel. I'm in Illinois, and it should be getting legalized by next year if we get a new governor. Oh my God, I hate the governor we have now. Oh my God. He's a piece of shit. He really is. Nobody can stand him. Everybody wants him out, and this is his last year. Thank God. It really is, because they can only serve so many times, and then they have to wait and all that stuff. So it's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, like Blue Dream, that's the best medical stuff I've tried. Yeah, I do like Blue Dream. I do. Not that it makes me feel like I'm in a dream, but I still like it. There's one kind, I cannot remember the name of it. It's not from a dispensary. It's actually from somebody who has a license to grow. And he makes his own stuff, and it's like a hybrid of something. And I got headaches. So I'm like, I don't want to do that again. But I don't remember the name of it. But again, it's someone's personal creation. So whatever. Let's see. I like her. That's the only reason I have stayed with her. Well, that's good. I mean, if you like each other and you get along well and you're willing to work together, then that's great. But if you ever feel like maybe she's pulling away, or you don't feel that connectedness anymore, then because sometimes we outgrow our counselors and sometimes we need a new counselor because they have a different way of doing things. You might be in a different place in your treatment or recovery, so sometimes certain therapists are good for this situation, and then 5 years later you need a new one. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you like her, stay with her. Who's your governor, if you don't mind telling me? If I tell you my governor, then you'll know where I live. Let's just put it this way. He was invited when Obama was president to go to the White House, and he declined. That's all I'm saying. I will not confirm nor deny anything else. Don't do what, myself? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry. Can you remind me, help me out a bit? Do what? I don't even know. Are you talking about growing stuff? DOXX. I have no idea what that means. I'm sure, well, I'll just say it right now. When I talk or text or write anything, I write out the words. I only abbreviate once I've written out the words so people can refer back to it. But I really have no idea half the time when people like my friend the other day, he said, "Oh, I'm having a crappy day at work, FML." And it took me I'm like, FML? I'm like, what the heck does that mean? And I'm thinking about it, and then I'm like, wait a minute. What could this mean in the context of what he's saying? Oh, fuck my life. But it took me like 5 minutes to figure it out. What can I say? It is what it is. Oh my gosh. My cheekbones are like, must be the light. I got some cheekbones going on, people. When you give your personal info out. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for informing me. Thank you. Yeah, I don't give my personal information out. I guess it would be one thing if me and somebody from the community made a plan to get together or something and, I don't know, do something, because I know people do that. They get together and they live in totally different states and then they make a video. Maybe I would do something like that. But I definitely wouldn't be giving out all kinds of personal, like where I live, my address, my phone number, things like that. I don't do that. It's not personal. It's just, there's a lot of psychos out there. And I don't mean people who have our kind of mental illness. I'm talking about psychopaths. Those kind of crazy people. Don't need them coming to my house. Or yours. They don't even go to yours either. I think I know who your governor is, but I'll keep it to myself. Yeah, I think you know too. If you do meet people, be careful. A lot of nuts out there. Yes. Lots of nuts. Lots and lots of interesting people, will say. But you know what? Even a psychopath also has a disorder. They're not well. They're not. But they will never, ever, ever say that or think it or believe it because they can't. They cannot feel empathy. If you're on like the total malignant end of all this stuff, yeah, they just can't. But that doesn't mean that they can't learn, because think about when you're a child. when somebody shows you what love is, then you understand what it is and you're able to give it out to other people. As an adult, it's probably a lot harder, but I don't think it's impossible. I mean, we're all human beings, and it's not like they don't feel anything. They still have emotions. They just have very low, extremely low stress levels, and they're able to lie because they believe everything they say and things like that. But it would be interesting. That would be like the case of the century, if somebody could help somebody who is completely psychopathic and bring them back from the brink so that they're not like that anymore, or at least help guide them to that place. Because it's always a choice. It's always the choices we make ourselves. We know right from wrong, but what choice are we going to make? So, I mean, I hope that any psychopath out there, whether they know it or not, is able to get help. Someday, at least one person. Yeah, it's like narcissists. Yeah. But remember, guys, it's always on a spectrum. So, like with the personality disorders, there are traits of that it goes up on the spectrum to more devious kinds of things, all the way to malignant. And malignant is just so, I mean, those people really don't ever seem to get help. And a good person to watch videos from that talks about this specifically is We Need to Talk with Kris Godinez. Oh my God, she's amazing. I think she's hilarious. But she has a lot of good information. If any of you have or are dealing with someone who is on the malignant end of things, she has a lot of good advice and all that stuff. She actually came from a family where her father was an alcoholic and a malignant borderline. I think she said a malignant borderline with narcissistic traits or something along those lines. And he wasn't a very good person. And she became a therapist, and she helps so many people. She's in Arizona. I don't know if any of you are in Arizona, but if you are in Arizona, find her. I mean, she does a radio show as well. Pretty sure she does a radio show. All right, hold on. I gotta put this out. So it's gonna get dark. I'm sorry. It's over there. I just need to put this out for the moment. And I don't know about you guys, but when I am like this, I tend to chain smoke. I don't know why. Ooh, so what are you guys been up to? How are you guys, mental health and physical health? I mean, how are you guys? I want to know. If you want to tell. Because you guys are fabulous. I know this is a side of me you don't see, is it? You really don't see all the ins and outs. I'm just glad nobody's outside. It's just me. I mean, they could be outside and just being quiet and listening to me talk because they do that, but whatever. I don't care. My oldest has borderline personality disorder, and she isn't the worst, but sometimes it gets bad. Yeah, because with borderline, usually the biggest issue we have, because I have been diagnosed with that too, is abandonment issues. Wherever they come from, for whatever reason, that tends to be a commonality. Feeling like people aren't going to be there for you, especially if people have left, especially during a difficult time, whatever. It could be many different things. But the thing to always remember is that we aren't our illnesses. We are human beings. We are people just like we have. a mental issue that happens. We have an episode of some kind, and then you deal with it, and then, you know, hopefully you can get back on track. You know, sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's quick, but everyone's different. But yeah, that one is a hard one to deal with, because what's coming forward, mostly you're seeing fear. It's fear manifesting itself. Comment from Chem Slave. Do you guys remember the YouTuber Super Crazy Lady 21 by any chance? What's the name again? The name of what? Maybe spell it. A few years, my physical health kind of sucks because my body has many faulty parts, and my meds have caused some serious weight gain. Woo! Get out of here. That was a moth. Fell into my hand. Yeah, that's the one thing that I hate about the medications, is most of them have serious weight gain. I mean, when I started this channel, I was slightly overweight by like 10 pounds, and then I went on all kinds of meds, and mostly it was Seroquel that did it. But I was put on some meds, and I didn't realize that at the time because I was just so out of it. I was not healthy that I didn't care. I just didn't have any self-worth at all. And then I went through my back problems, and I gained weight from that because I could not, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything, and I was down for a long time, you know, and then it's just been super hard. And I kind of go up and down in my weight a lot. But a big thing that I haven't been doing, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's because I've been depressed. I used to walk all the time and all that stuff, and I haven't been doing that. I haven't been exercising, even just going for a casual stroll. I mean, I'll take the dog for a walk here and there, but I haven't been doing that. But I know, I can see now, looking back, it's because I've been depressed for a long time, and I probably just didn't realize it, you know, or I didn't want to admit it to myself. You know, sometimes you just don't want to admit that you're going through a hard time because you don't want to be going through a hard time. You want to be normal. Well, whatever normal is, like, you know, you just want to be able to function, we'll say. And I just wasn't. So, and then, like I said, for upcoming videos, I did want to talk about emotional eating because I do have issues with that. But for a long time, I was ashamed to talk about that or to discuss it or even think about it. But I think it's important because so many people struggle with their weight, with food, with emotions and all that stuff. And I want people to know that they aren't alone. Let's see, what you smoking? It is Camel Blue. Let's see. This right here. Alright, the last one it's all good. Yeah, I have a tattoo on my arm with symbols that mean I am greater than my highs and lows, with a mountain in the background. Oh, I love that. How did you... Aren't Newports menthols? If it's a menthol, I can't do menthol. They put fiberglass in that shit. No, thank you. The woman you were talking about, Godinez or something, you said was in Arizona. Yeah, it's Kris Godinez. So it's Kris and then Godenez. Godinez. Well, if you just type in the search, "we need to talk with Kris Godinez," she'll pop right up. You'll get through it, girl. Keep your head up. Way up, guys. It's way up. Ugh. It's kind of heavy. Nah, she has Camels. Yes, it was Camels. Do cigs help? If you're talking about if they're good for you, hells no. But if you're talking about in the moment, are they making me feel better? Yes. Why? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. They put lots of crap in this thing. I mean, freaking rat poisoning, arsenic. I don't even know. I don't know. I guess I'm doing this because it's better than getting in my car and going on an adventure, if you know what I mean. And who knows where I'd end up, I'd rather just buy a pack of cigarettes and call it a day, with your anxiety. Do cigarettes help with my anxiety? Yes and no. Because cigarettes, in the moment, because it's that craving, so in the moment when you're smoking it, it makes you feel good. But it's like any other drug or chemical. Once you take it away, you eventually start to crave it, and that's when it doesn't feel good. But in terms of anxiety, it's more just in the moment for me. Once I'm done, my anxiety will come back. I think it's because I'm focusing on something else and I'm not thinking about what's going on inside. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, guys. I don't know. Have I tried Newports? I think I have, because I'm thinking menthol, and sometimes people will smoke menthols. When I was in high school, if I bummed a cigarette, most of the guys that I hung out with smoked that kind of cigarette. Not because I know there's Newports and some other kinds, and that's what they smoked, but it was always menthol, and it was disgusting. I'm sorry. It just grosses me out. Menthol. It's not like the cough drop, I'll tell you. You found her? Awesome. Yeah, she's really good. She really is. Because she's got the academic background because she went to school and all that stuff. Plus, she's got the experience from coming from a family like that. So she's got so many good things to say. And one thing that I took from her that I always remember is that when you hear negative self-talk, whether it's your own thoughts or other voices or whatever, let them speak, listen, then when they're done, you say, thank you so much for telling me what you wanted to tell me. Now shut the fuck up so I can think for myself and make my own choice. And and I've actually tried that several times, and it worked. Not every time, but some of the times. So it is something that I do use, and I just thought that was so hilarious when she said that. I'm like, that is so simple. Why didn't I ever think of that before? Woo! Yeah, these moths aren't liking me. You know, one thing about these cigarettes is, if you notice, it keeps going out. Because if you don't smoke it, you know how like cigarettes, usually you smoke them, and if you just hold them, even if you're not smoking, they just burn and burn and burn. These ones go out, so you don't waste your cigarette. Listen to me. Oh my God. What's going on? Oh my God. Yeah, I think right now the cigarette is giving me that euphoric feeling that you were asking me if it helps with anxiety, because I don't feel as anxious now as I did. Gotta switch sides with my head. Oh yeah, the neighbors are out. They're probably listening to everything I'm saying. Whatever. It's not like my videos are private or anything. I mean, the whole world can see them, so it is what it is. Oh my gosh. You know, it's actually surreal to me that I found someone who does med management. It's surreal. The only thing that I am a little bit concerned about, because I need to ask to make sure, is if this person, even though this person's working at this place that I go to for medical care and all that, do they accept my insurance? Because I have state insurance. And not all doctors take state insurance. Most don't. Mostly in the mental health field in my area, it's really hard to find decent people. Because like I said, I went to that other place, and it's a community place, and they treated me like shit, and I've been there a few times, and I'm all set with their bullshit. All set. Okay, I just gotta go grab this cigarette over here so I can get rid of it. Hold on, I gotta find it. It's in here somewhere. I'm sorry, guys, it's dark. Oh no, I put it in my pocket. That's what I did with it. Oh no, I put it in here. That's why. Oh, look at that. I found it. I figured it out, guys. Look at that. I'm so schmucking fat. I am so schmucking fat. I found it. It's awesome. Alright, we're going back in. Hi, Henry. Hi, Shadow. I know, I gotta take my stuff off. I know. I know. You wanna say hi, Henry? Say hi, Henry. Say hi. He says, who am I talking to? There's nobody there. You should see him when he hears me on the phone. If I'm not here, my son's like, here, talk to Henry. He's got me on speakerphone, and I'm like, hi, Henry, I love you. You're Mimi's boy, and I'm your Henry girl, or whatever I say. And he just kind of like tilts his head and is like, well, where is she? I hear her, but where is she? Kind of funny. It's cute. Ooh. Okay. Get back to position here. Okay. Alright, so I remember asking a question as I was going outside about Des's hair. Have you guys seen it? She's got bangs, it's blonde, I think it's short. I haven't seen the back of it. I've just seen the front part, but she looks cute. Ooh. Alright. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know, the thing of it is I have taken my night meds. I took them like 2.5 hours ago. And I'm not tired. It's just anxiety and stress. And I don't know about you, but anxiety and stress, even after the situation is over and done with, and even if it works out in my favor, whatever the situation is, I can still feel for days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months after a situation, I can feel intense anxiety about it. And I don't know why. I don't know why it lasts for so long. It's not like I'm trying to hold on to it. It just won't go away. You know, it's like, okay, go away. I don't want to deal with you anymore. It's over and done with. And let's move on, brain. Come on. But it just keeps coming and coming. And I don't understand that. Yeah, I just stopped smoking weed because I'm about to participate in a study about bipolar people, and they need it out of my system. How long have you been doing it? Because if you've been doing it for years, truth be told, it can take more than 30 days to get out of your system, especially if you're a heavy smoker of marijuana. So just be aware of that. Sometimes it can linger in your, because I think drugs like that get stored in your fat cells. So once you stop smoking or however you ingest it, yeah, you need the 30 days, but sometimes because it's in your fat cells, it'll still release into your system. So years, yeah, it will take a while. I'm not a heavy smoker, but I think when they see my levels going down, they will be okay. Yeah, I think as long as they keep going down and they don't see that they're going back up, because then they'll probably kick you out for not following what they want. But that's pretty cool that you're participating in that. How did you get involved in that? I always wonder how that happens. I mean, sometimes I get emails about there's a study in your area, but I'm never really sure if it's like a scam or if it's a legitimate thing. My daughter found it on Craigslist. Craigslist, good old Craigslist, right? That is so cool. And how, so it had like information and you were able to call and find out that it was a legitimate thing. That's cool. So I assume that they pay you to do this, right? Or is it like a volunteer kind of thing where you don't get paid? You're just a guinea pig. Oh my goodness. Oh. University of Chicago, 350. Is that like per day or per? I mean, I don't know how they do the studies, but is that like per day or? I mean, that's interesting. Do you have to report that to the government? I mean, do they give you cash? Because if they give you cash, man, I'm in. They will do an EEG, a brain scan, and an MRI. Ooh, interesting. No, that's the total. Hey, $350, man. That's awesome. I could use $350 right now, but only a few sessions. Yeah, I think they should pay you. You know what? They probably, I bet if you divided that number into however many sessions you could get, how much they're paying you per day or per session. And then you'd be like, oh, yeah, so it really isn't that much. But $350 is more than you have now. So, I mean, go for it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Only if they give me more than $600 in a year do I have to claim it. Oh, interesting. That would be so awesome. But how do they pay you? Is it in cash or do they like send it to your bank account? Because if it's like a transaction in that sort of way, then it would, because I live in low income housing, every year they do recertification. So if they saw that they need bank statements, so if they saw that I had this money that I didn't report, I could get in trouble. So a check. Sweet. I'm sorry. Look at me. See, my mood has totally shifted. I just realized that. It must be all your love. It must be it. It must be all your love. I'm just going to take it all in. Tomorrow, I might not feel so good. I mean, I look tired, but I don't feel tired in my head. I don't like that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my shoulders are so sore. Honestly, what it is I need a new bra. I'm not trying to get fresh with you guys, but that is what it is. The bra I have is ill-fitting. It's not very supportive, so. And I've been without a car for a long time. I have a new one. But I was without a car for a long time, so I was unable to go because I have to go to an actual bra shop and get them ordered. Yeah, fun times. I get measured and then order them, and sometimes she has them on hand, but a lot of times she has to order them, which is okay. That happens. But I still need new bras because it's pulling and pulling and pulling. I've had 3 surgeries on my shoulders. I feel ya. Oh. What kind of surgeries? Did you get in an accident? Or something? Or I don't know. I have not known anyone to have any shoulder surgery in my life. I've never come across that, so I am curious. I am curious. You know, there is a Goodwill box that's across from my house, and somebody threw out all these old VHS tapes, and my mom grabbed them because if she doesn't use them, she'll probably use them in like a yard sale or something and sell them. I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do. But one of the things somebody left was a big bag of unused candles. I like candles. So I took that. I know you're not supposed to take from the Goodwill box, but you know what? I'm poor. I don't have a lot of money. So if it's free and in good condition, whatever. They had a lot of stuff there. They had clothes and like blankets, and there were some suitcase type things, and then there was all the stuff that was in the box itself. I mean, there were pots and pans and all these things. So it's not like we went and took all of it. We just took a couple things to repair my labrum, and one called is it a laser jet procedure? Oh. Interesting. It's about instability in the shoulders. They kept dislocating. Oh, does that hurt? I've always wondered if like your shoulder dislocates, if it hurts, or if it's just like, oh my God, what happened? I mean, I don't know. I always wondered about things like that. Weird. I know people always said I was weird, the things that I thought about. And it's like, well, if nobody thinks about them, then who's going to, right? You okay, Henry? He sounded like he was sneezing. He's probably just playing with his baby and making noises. He loves the babies with the squeaky toys in them. He thinks mice and squirrels and chipmunks are squeaky toys. Just animated. It's funny. He's caught a few of them. I mean, right as of now, we used to have 4 cats. Now we're down to 2. And Henry. And of all those cats, and Henry, the dog, is the one who's been catching the mice. Oh, it's hilarious. I think he thinks he's a cat. I think he thinks he's like that show Cat Dog. I think that's what it is. For sure. Oh my God. Oh, look. Battery power 15%. I like how it tells me that. What I don't like is that my phone doesn't tell me when I have a voicemail. I have to physically call the voicemail to find out. That's annoying. Like, what's the point? Like, what? I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm just all over the place. My mind just feels like it's like, woo, inside my head right now. That's what it feels like. I don't feel like I'm making any sense. I kind of feel floaty. It's probably because I'm tired. That sounds like a setting thing, the voicemail problem. Yeah, I went to the settings, and the only thing it has is like a visual voicemail. I don't need visual voicemail because I can see. I've looked through the entire phone. I have no idea. I even called the voicemail to see if the setting was in the voicemail when you call it, and it's not. So I don't know. Maybe it's just this particular round of phones just didn't have that feature. I don't know. It's weird. My old phones did. You know, the older models, but I think I have like a Jet Pro or something like that. Samsung Galaxy Jet Pro, Jet 9, I don't even know. But it doesn't, I mean, unless you guys have this phone and you figured it out, maybe you could tell me, or you know somebody, because, I mean, yeah. It's okay if I have to call the voicemail. I mean, fine, whatever. But I would like to know if the person who called left a message or not, so I can decide, do I want to listen to it or not at this time, kind of a thing. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, I'm interested with this new nurse practitioner about our talk about medication. Whoa, my arms just feel like they're pulsating, but nothing's moving. It's weird. Because, like I said, I am weary, very weary of antipsychotics. The ones that I've tried so far, one of them, I actually made a video about it. I think it was Risperidol or something like that. Risperdal. I think that was the one. I don't remember. But in it, I'm just like, hi guys, it's Amanda. You know, I mean, that's all I could do. I couldn't function. Like, I had no emotions. I mean, I couldn't feel anything. But oddly enough, one of them, I can't remember which one it was, when I did take it, I think it was the Risperdal, it took away all my anxiety. I had no anxiety about anything. It was actually nice to go around and feel what it's like to just be me. Well, to just go around and not have all that anxiety all the time. It was horrible. You know, I mean, anxiety is so crippling and debilitating at times. And it, you know, sometimes it can ruin lives, with, you know, but anyway, it did that, but it was the only thing it did, and it really just wasn't good for me. And then one of them I took, oh my God, it felt like somebody was inside my head. And you know how you have like that guy with the big drum and boom, boom, boom. It felt like somebody kept doing that in my head and it wouldn't stop. It was horrible. And then I got these like sharp pains and and then years ago, I do have a video on it about Giadon. It just made me like this all the time. Like, this was, and I was on the lowest dose you could have. I couldn't stay awake. All it did was make me like this and make me fall asleep. That's all it did. I mean, I guess if that's the outcome that people want, then hey, by all means, it did its job, but it definitely didn't help me. Let's see, do you ever do Google Hangout? I don't think I ever have. I don't really know how to do that. There's a lot of things I don't know how to do. I see people doing them and I'm like, I don't know how. I don't even know where to begin. I have no clue. I'm not that tech savvy. I haven't either, but I've watched them. You can watch Google Hangouts? What is it, just like a chat hangout? Is that what you mean? Kind of like a chat room, but on an app? I guess. I'm assuming it's an app. Yeah, it's a video hangout. Really? So like you can, is it just like one-on-one, or is it like anyone who's in the hangout? You can see everybody. I'm trying to figure out how that would work in my head. I'm like, whoa, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like in my head trying to think about that. It's too complicated for my primitive brain. It's on Google Plus. You invite people. I've seen upwards of 10 people in one room. Well, that sounds cool. Maybe I'll check that out. Hey, do you guys have channels of your own? I mean, do you guys do mental health channels or any other kind of channels? I know not everybody does, and that's totally fine. Oh yeah, I did mention earlier Super Crazy Lady 21. I don't know if you guys remember her. But she has a new channel. Maybe you might know her as Jackie. She has a new channel now, and I only knew that she had it because she sent me a message. And so I subbed to her, and I'm just glad that she's doing okay, because when she had her previous channel, people were so mean. Oh my God. I mean, death threats every day from so many people, you know, or people saying, you should go kill yourself. Or I've had a few people say some things to me like that. And I'm like, well, why would I kill myself? Then I wouldn't have any fun torturing you, you know. But if you like her, if you remember her, she does have that channel. It's called Chem Slave. And it's spelt exactly how it sounds. You know, I did find some more channels in the mental health community. Sometimes I try to look for channels, and then you look for people or whatever, and you get all these videos of, like, I mean, not that they aren't important. I do watch them too, but a lot of them are like a doctor talking, or it's a like a teacher or something giving a lecture or something about it, like giving a speech. I don't know what you would call it. You know, just not just like a channel like mine where you just go, oh, look, this person is talking about mental health from their own perspective. I sometimes find it hard to find people. I try so hard because not everybody has a name that you would associate with, oh, they might talk about this on their channel. So sometimes, so what I did is I went on to like the people that I had subscribed to, and I went to the thing that says channels, like if they had any featured channels, and then I'd go through that and see if anyone on there was making videos, and I found a few people. So that's cool. I wish it was easier to find people. I mean, my God, I've been here, what, 7 years now? Yeah. In October 20th, this channel will be 7 years old. My goodness, 7 years, man. 7 years. And I'm still struggling. I should not be writing on this table. I don't know why I'm writing on this table. I'm all fidgety. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in my head right now. But this is the reason why I was so, like, needing a psychiatrist or somebody who prescribes meds. And I have been looking for someone since the beginning of last year. So not this previous January, but last year, like 2017, I have been looking for someone. And it's the end of September, almost the end of September. It's like, what? Well, technically now it's the 20th. But, yeah, that's a long time to look for somebody, especially when you know that you need help. And I mean, I wasn't even thinking of it in big terms of thinking about my whole situation. I just knew that I didn't feel right, that my brain was acting weird, and I was trying to look for people, and it was so frustrating because, like I said, it was hard to find people. And you know, a lot of times if I am having any kind of symptoms, I try to hide it, because it's not that I don't like people, you know, showing concern or compassion or anything. It's not even about the people. It's just sometimes I don't want to be symptomatic in front of people. Sometimes I will take space and I'll be like, I need a timeout. I need to go do something. I need to like lie down, but just don't bother me, or whatever it is. Just to kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, ground me. Not that it doesn't, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's hard when you have a kid. You know, he's a good kid, but he doesn't understand. Sometimes mommy just can't. And it's not that I don't want to, I just can't. I can't do it right then. And I wish that he could understand. But the only way for him to understand is to go through it himself. I mean, to truly understand. And it just makes me feel bad because some days he wants to play with me and I can't. Like, my mind isn't even there. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's just been happening. So I am glad that this happened. I am glad that I asked for help and it was received within 2 days. 2 days. I asked 2 days before this appointment. What can I say? It was meant to be. Alright, well, my battery power is getting low, and I do need to charge my phone, and it is late, and I should try to go to bed and do the responsible thing, so that is what I'm going to do. So it was so great chatting with you all. I know it's been a long time since I've done a live video, and I know it's kind of all over the place, but this is where I am right now. This is where I'm at. So thank you for stopping by. I love you all. Whoa, easy, man. I don't knock everything down. I forgot what I was saying. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. And, you know, just keep spreading that peace and love, right? Okay, I'm going to go, guys. So thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. You're wonderful. I love you. Bye.